Hi everyone, welcome back to the OAG RC. I'm on the home stretch now. I'm putting together this Cougar and I really want to put the best foot forward on getting this finished in a positive mindset, because I might have been a bit negative when I've been building, certainly the last build step for this. It's quite challenging, I think, is probably the right way of phrasing it. Now, I know we've got some more shocks to make up, and I'm probably going to have some more of those horrible clip things to put in them. But we're going to try and keep positive, and we're going to try and make the best of the rest of this build. So, I'm going to start off by doing step 41, which is just mounting up these rear shocks onto the tower. So I'll get on and do that. I think I said it at the end of the last build. If you are getting one of these because you had one when you were younger or you raced it, and you know there's a lot of memories on this chassis for you, then you're going to love it, because I think it is built, or it's made to be exactly as it was back in the day. So I think a lot of people are going to get a huge amount of pleasure out of building one of these, especially if they had one when they were a kid growing up at the start of the 90s. I thoroughly appreciate all of the wonderful design elements to this build. You know, it really is. You can see that when Schumacher made this back in the 90s, there was a huge amount of love that went into this. The engineering is awesome, absolutely awesome. You know, there's some great stuff going on here. For me, building this in, where are we? 2022, I think it is, there's stuff in here that sort of, it could be done better. Does that make sense? I think there's a lot of stuff that's here because it was on the original, like these shocks. And I just think there's better ways to do it. There's better ways to do it that, you know, one, don't frustrate the person that's building it to the point where they almost give up. And two, make it so it's serviceable. I mean, I have no idea how I'm going to get, if I need to, oh crap. If I need to service the shocks, I've got no idea how I'm going to get those C-clips out, because I've, you know, quite literally wedged them in. So I've got no idea how I will dismantle the shocks. So let's just hope I don't have to. Let's just hope I don't have to. But I think, yeah, there's modern shocks that would have exactly the same look and feel on here that would have gone together a heck of a lot easier. But maybe I'm just being whingy. I'm just being old. But then, hey, it's the OAG. It is, you know, I've been around the block. I'm here to whinge and complain and start to get my old man boots on. And think about everything's against the world, and, you know, oh, it wasn't like that when I was a lad, and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah. Right. Let's get this ball cup in there, and let's see how these shocks feel. There we go. First thing that's very apparent to me is I've got a lopsided rear end. So despite the fact that I've followed the instructions best I can, it doesn't look like it all lines up to me. Looks like the droop on one side is bigger than the other, which is not good. Oh dear, oh dear. Could be any number of various adjustments that's caused that to happen on the back here. We're going to have to play around with that at some point. we'll look at what it was all like when it all comes together. But clearly, something has gone very, very wrong. Right, step 42 is building up the little shocks. So I'm not going to do that on camera because I'm going to swear and I'm going to shout and it's going to be frustrating. So I'm going to go ahead and build those shocks up off camera and I'll show you what they look like when I built them. I think, on reflection, the problem that I had with the front dampers had nothing to do with the circlips and everything to do with the fact that I didn't build them properly. Because those were really easy. Now, what I did differently is I made sure that the bits inside were all pushed down into the shock properly. And I have a horrible feeling that the reason that the rear shocks aren't right is because I didn't seat this part far enough into the shock. You live and learn. I've got some more circlips on the way. So what I will probably do is rebuild those rear shocks at some point. Easy squeezy. They were not as hard as the rear ones were. So I take it all back. They're lovely. It's amazing the difference that they can make, isn't it? Right, now the shocks are built. The next step is mounting them on step 45. Right, it's a new day since I last spoke to you. It was also my sister's wedding day yesterday, and I am feeling a little bit tired today. A mini OAG was dancing until late last night, and she is upstairs having a rest. So it gives me a bit of chance to crack on with finishing up this little beauty. And that's exactly what we're going to attempt to do now. Now, I won't get the body done today. I am having a bit of a second thought. So, my thought about the body was fluorescence. Bright, bold. I was thinking yellow at the front, orange, red, and then into white as it goes out to the back. And I thought that'd be really cool, and really bright and vibrant and fiery, which is, you know, what I'm hoping this RC is going to represent. But driving home from the wedding today, I drove past a Jag that was done up a bit like Austin Powers with like a Union Jack across it. And I've been thinking, oh man, that might look really cool on the Cougar. It's like a big sort of Union Jack across the body. But I don't know if my painting skills can pull it off. So I'm going to think about it between now and painting day, which is imminent. I mean, that's why I bought these. And if I change my mind, I might adjust it. But if I don't, I'm going, or do I go red at the front, orange, yellow, white? Or do I go yellow, orange, white? Probably yellow, orange, white. Or Union Jack. Can't decide. That's my thought process. Thought I'd share it with you. Let me know. Well, no. Let me know if you think I'm right or wrong. But by the time you watch this video, I'll have already done it. So it won't make any difference, but it'll be nice to have a chat. Okay. Less waffle, more building. Please, Craig, if you will. Lovely. Love the way those front arms feel. Very nice. Okie dokie. Silver can. Just a silver can for this build. Nice and simple. Nothing too extreme. We need a pinion as well, don't we? Now. Right, it's the 48 DP that goes into this. So we've got a 17 turn 48 DP. And that's what we are going for. That is lower, that's low gearing, so we're going for maximum acceleration and torque for the OAG Raceway. So, when I was putting together the motor on the Cougar, I realised that I had a bit of a problem. And so I've ordered some more of these because, well, I'm probably going to need them at some point. But I also ordered a different spur gear to go on. So what I realised when I was putting it together is the spur that I have in the kit is not the right spur that matches the pinion that I've got, and therefore it's not meshing up properly. So this is the right one for the 17-tooth pinion that I've got, which I put 17-tooth pinion on all the RCs that I have, well, where possible, or smaller. So this is the one that goes on. So I'm going to put this spur gear on now, remesh the motor, and then we can carry on with the build. So let's get cracking. But before I do that, I also have some groovy OAG decals that have turned up in the post today as well. Not sure what I'm going to use those for yet, but they will certainly appear somewhere on some of the builds as we go forward. Right, let's crack on. So this spur gear is bigger than the kit one. The kit one's 85, this one's 86, and this one's 95. So my understanding of this sort of stuff is that should give it more torque. Problem I've got now is that is bigger than the previous one, and I can't get it on past the upright support that I've put in place there. Get a small bit of paper in between the gear and that's the mesh you're looking for with the paper in. And then rotate it through, the paper comes out, boom, gear meshed. Do you know what? I'm actually going to put the wheels on next, because all we've got to put on now is the electronics and the battery. So I'm going to mount the wheels, step 52, or not, as the case may be. Oh man. Tiny little problem here, everybody. So I don't know how the editing's gone for the last couple of bits of this video, but basically where I've got to is I've put the wheels on, well, 3 of the wheels on, but this one didn't go on because that piece there, you see it, is the wrong length. It should be almost double the length of that to go into the wheel hub, and unfortunately it doesn't do that. So I had to contact Schumacher, and to be fair to them, they responded really quickly. And in the post today, they sent me the replacement parts, which is awesome. So if I have any problems with your Schumacher, get in contact with them. They have spare parts. If it's not right, they'll send you another one free of charge. If it is right and you've just broken the piece, I'm sure they will send you out the right pieces for the right charge. However, and this is really great, thanks Schumacher, but they haven't sent me the little star bit that goes in the middle of those 2 pieces. So I've got to try and take that out of there. It was hard enough getting it in the first place. So just Schumacher FYI, if you're sending out these bits, just send out another one of those brackets, make it easy. Right, let's see if I can get it done. We're going to have to try and get that out of there. Now, what would be great is if I could lever this bit off, because then, remove this instruction manual out where I was just going to stick to it again. If I can get this bit off, which is the bit I've got to replace, that'll give me a fighting chance. So God knows how we're going to do that, I suppose. Oh. Something like that, I would say. what's really interesting is that bit there is the bit that goes in there. But that is definitely the right bit to go in there. Weird. Because that doesn't line up to the other bits on the buggy. Very peculiar. Not going to ask too many questions. We're just going to get on with it. Right, now let's see if I can remember how to do this bit. I did it before. I know I did. Get it to there. Get old. No, it didn't do it like that. Should go back on the video before, shouldn't I, and just see how I did this bit, because that would make it an awful lot easier. If I remember, this was one of the most difficult bits because it all sort of moves around and hey up. Almost in here. We're in business, although I have just somehow managed to catch my finger on that as I was going through, but hey, no pain, no gain. That's because it's a bit sharp on that edge. Wow, just look at that. You see that? I'm gonna just stab myself. Just take the edge off there. Okay, right, we've got that bit reassembled. Got a couple of groovy spare parts in case we bust anything going forward. Right, just a little celebration in celebration of putting it all together. Let's just pop the back end up. Celebrate with driving the wheels. We are in some business here. For the first time. Oh man, that feels so good. Look at that. That is, look at the ground clearance. Hang on. Look at the ground clearance on that. It's amazing. It feels great. This is the first time I've actually been able to sort of look at it properly, and it is, yeah, it's pretty good actually. So I can go back to bag 47 now, which is this one, and we're going to put the motory doodah in, not the motory doodah, the battery doodah in. If it puts a smile on my face. I'll be back. Yeah, so that was short-lived because basically we've got a slipping diff. Watch. It's just slipping around. So the diff's not tight enough. So the whole gearbox has got to come apart. I'm going to have a drink, a glass of whiskey, maybe a bottle, because I've had about enough of this for one day, and we'll come to it on another day when I am prepared to try and fight and battle with this RC for yet another day. Yeah, wicked. A new day and a cup of coffee. And we have resolved the problem with the diff. So the diff was loose at the back. I hadn't tightened it enough. But what you're able to do is put an Allen key into the one side, and it actually says it in the instructions. Turn the opposite side of the diff and it tightens it. So happy days, we've got it all tightened up. Had a little shakedown run and it drives reasonably nicely. So the next job is to get on with the body and the wing and mount that up, and we'll be finished. I'm not going to do that now. That'll be a separate part so you can see what we've done with the body, but I can say that it is absolutely fantastic. And even the steering at the front. Now normally with the Tamiya kits where I use this cast and servo, I have to turn the endpoints down to probably somewhere in the region of 70-75%, something like that. This one's been able to go all the way up to 100%, and there's no chatter on that at all, which is pretty impressive. I don't know what's going on there, but the wheels throw. In fact, let me let me turn it on and show you. That is some awesome steering throw. The angle on that is great, and I trim those up on this back. Pop up here a second. There we go. Nice and smooth, nice and quiet. It's lovely, absolutely lovely. Right, thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Huge thanks to the RC Alf for making this possible. And if you've enjoyed the content, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and enjoy the future content. This is the OAG RC, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.